subscribe.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to this next YE video. Today I'm going to be talking about preparing for a pandemic, or the pandemic that we're in now. The cool thing is that, even though the pandemic is here, we're not in the full full breakdown of everything. And I don't think everything's gonna break down, but I think it's just good to be thinking about your future. Even though you want to live one day at a time, it's always good to just prepare for your shortage on food or a shortage on water. And if you live in the rainy state like I do, Washington, you can collect rainwater and you can have a storage of rainwater. And some of these things you can do in an apartment. I was gonna think about just if I were to get and move into an apartment instead of a house. I really do want to live in a house, but sometimes I think about living in an apartment too. And you can think about how to collect a little bit of rainwater from your balcony, and especially just getting you through the dry months, until it rains again. So and then also you can have a storage of water just in a closet somewhere. You can buy cases of water that you don't use outside of your normal day to day. But anyway, I just made a live stream, and I'm going to be just going over some points on that live stream. And this is pandemic prep. So I was looking for my watch, it's not here. But we're going to be talking about, going through 17 different points about how to prepare for a pandemic. Of course, the first thing you want to do is put your faith in Christ. But after that, we can talk about other things. So number one is to think in advance. It takes about 1 to 2 years for a virus to reach everyone. So that's what I heard online. Now, of the truthfulness of that, I'm not sure how they measure that, but the source that I got that from, they said they looked at, I believe, a government website, and that's what it said. And so it's been about almost a year for the coronavirus being out. And so we know that it's not at its full head yet, meaning that it's not fully grown. And so we've just seen kind of some idea. We have an idea of what the breakdown would look like, and that is kind of some stores closing, some businesses closing. And so I would really look into remote work. That's one thing I didn't put on this list, but working from home. What can you do? You can start a YouTube channel. You can start a business from your house. You can start looking for jobs that require you to work at home, like a customer support caller. Those jobs, you can try starting a search on Indeed.com and looking for a customer support specialist or customer support remote jobs, and those things like that. That could be good. And then if you feel like you want to work out a little bit outside your home, but not necessarily close to people, you can always think about doing those gig jobs like Instacart, grocery delivery, Postmates, Uber, Lyft. I'm not sure the strength of Uber and Lyft these days, but definitely grocery delivery, Walmart. You can work in a warehouse. Now, the thing about it is you want to think about, even if you don't necessarily, that's not your job, I would say either working a job until you, that's not the job that you want, is what I meant to say. And working a job until you have that dream job, I think it's always good, And so if you're someone that has a more of a prestigious job, you can think about working in a warehouse. No one has to know that you have a more of a prestigious career. You can leave some things off of your resume, but or something along those lines. You don't have to lie, of course, on your resume, but you can definitely, work a job at a warehouse for Amazon or for Walmart, or there's other companies other than Amazon or Walmart that you can work kind of a labor type of job, or something that is not necessarily in your field of study, and you'll be bringing in some cash instead of just not having a job at all. So think in advance. Think about what job you want to do. Think about what to do for your family, and think about food storage. Number 2, always do extra. So go above and beyond what you think you need to do. Don't go crazy, but go above and beyond. So when you're at the grocery store, you know, buy extra salt or buy extra sugar so that you can have some if you weren't able to go to the grocery store. Let's say if the grocery store is shut down. Buy livestock seed in bulk. So, you know, definitely have something for your animals. Buy pet supplies, buy dog and cat food in advance. So your pets have something to eat. And then, also one thing I would add is learn how to live off the land, or learn how to camp and get your food from plants, or even, doing some sort of small type of hunting or trapping, or fishing. But I wouldn't really rely on fish so much, but you know, think about what you can do where even if you were to never go to a grocery store, you know, learn how to survive and feed your family through a lot of the things that are here. So one thing that comes to mind is like in Washington, we have a lot of evergreen trees. And so I'm pretty sure, I'll have to Google it, and you can Google this too, but you can take pine needles and you can boil the pine needles and make a bit of a soup or a meal by eating pine needles. But you also have to think, you should know in advance how much protein you need and food supply that you need from in advance of how to sustain your own body. Of course, you need water, and you can't last. If you forget the rule, basically you can't go beyond a week for food or water. But the rule, I believe, is 2 weeks for food and 1 week for water. But I'm not sure. Google it, so I could be wrong on that. So my apologies if I'm wrong. But anyway, I would say to just help you remember, you can't go beyond a week. Okay. Anyway, so next thing, number 2 is to do extra. Number 3 is to make freezer meals. So meal prep to feed your family, to keep in a freezer. So you can cook meals in advance, maybe cook rice in advance, and all you have to do is cook the chicken, or you know, all you have to do is cook a certain amount and you have one portion of the meal already saved up in the freezer. Okay, that was number 3. You can store food in Mylar bags with air absorbers. And so I heard you can get the Mylar bags. Of course, you can search Amazon. I'm pretty sure Amazon has almost anything that you would need, you know, online. I'm not sure if it's available, but you can find a product on Amazon. And so Mylar bags, I hear, are bags that you can suck air out of to preserve food longer. So that's definitely something. Okay, number 4 is canned food. Can your food and get canning supplies. Get jars and extra lids. So that's number 4, is to can food. And you have to look at what foods you can can. Tomatoes, I hear you can store for a really long time. And then there are forever foods. So you should Google search what forever foods are. And there's some foods that you can buy that will actually never go bad, you know? And especially if you store it correctly and whatnot, there's foods that you can actually keep and that will never go bad. So it's always good to have that. And one note that I made is prepare 1 year in advance. So if you can prepare 1 year in advance for your food supply and also other supplies as well. Pretty much everything that we're talking about, you should try to prepare 1 year in advance. Okay, number 5. Number 4 was can your food. Number 5 is to fight boredom. So have things for yourself to do and your family to do. You know, have books to read, have fun books to read, not just educational books. You know, have video games to play. You know, of course you want to buy a generator or some solar powered thing to supply power to maybe your phone that you need, or something so you can be engaged and maybe download your videos instead of waiting for Wi-Fi. Have a few different videos that you wouldn't mind rewatching that you have right on your device, and so if the internet goes down, you still have a downloaded device, and buy your solar panel, solar power charger or power supply for at least to charge your small phone, because phones these days can do just about what your TV can do and more. And if everyone has a phone, all you need to do, your phone will be charged after you know, a little bit of time in the sun. Okay, so fight boredom. Of course, think of other ways, not just the ones I mentioned. Number 6 is water filtration system. So think about how you can save water and collect water, and to have water and filter water. If you were to not have a supply of water saved, maybe you know of a water source to go to, or you collect rainwater, and having a way to filter that water, because sometimes you can't just drink that water outright. You have to make it clean for yourself. Okay, so collect rainwater. You know, if you're in Washington, I definitely recommend that, having a container to collect water, and then looking into what you have to do to make sure it's drinkable. And water can become contaminated in a city. Your city water supply could become contaminated from flooding or from other disaster or so. And so online they told me about a Burke filtration system, and to get extra filters, and I guess the Burke filtration system can last a long time, like years, where you can be able to have a filtered water supply. Okay, think about cleaning supplies. How would you clean things? How would you clean your body if you weren't to have a shower? So make sure you have water supplies, cleaning supplies. And this also, I want to add in here, is to prepare mentally, physically, and spiritually for this pandemic. You know, are you mentally prepared? Do you have an emotional intelligence? Emotional intelligence means, are you able to process anger? Are you able to process happiness? Are you able to process boredom? Are you able to process depression? Are you able to process like the sadness? Are you able to process those things correctly? Do you know how to process those things? Physically, can you walk a mile? Can you walk 10 miles? Can you walk 20 miles? You know, what can you do physically? How are you prepared for cold weather? Are you prepared for nighttime? Spiritually, are you saved? Do you know Jesus? And not just know Jesus, like as in know of him. Everyone knows of Jesus, but are you living the way that Jesus wants you to live? Do you know a lot of information about the way that Jesus wants you to live? Are you smart in the way that a Christian is smart and a Christian should be smart? So think about those things. But I just added that into the cleaning supply. And sorry, my neck hurts a little bit, so that's why if you see me kind of moving weird, my neck is kind of sore. But anyway, okay, so if you have a baby, get baby supplies in advance. Get cloth diapers. Get the reusable diapers that you just have to clean. Get clothing in advance. Prepare for your baby to get older. So get diaper rash cream. Get ear infection cream. Get baby food, and learn how to make these things without you know, by mixing chemicals, or learn how to use natural things. Remember, a lot of people, we got here in 2020 today because people did this without having the supplies at the store. They just use natural remedies. They use natural products. They use plants outside. So learn how to do that. Learn that, you know, just by searching on YouTube, you can probably find at least 3 videos that can tell you that. Okay, think about stores being closed. So go with Tylenol, go with milk thistle instead of aspirin. I hear aspirin is bad for COVID-19, so I would go to Tylenol. Okay, they said that aspirin is linked to causing deaths for COVID-19, so I'm not sure how truthful that is. I'm just spreading it from the source that I heard. Okay, number 10 is get feminine products if you're a female for your monthly female period. Get feminine products in advance. Or know what to do without those products. Know how to survive without those products. Okay, number 11 is get home birth supplies. So are you prepared to have a baby at home? You know, if you can't go to the hospital, are you prepared for that? Okay, number 13 is prepare economically and save money. Number 14 is prepare to do homeschool. Number 15, prepare mentally, physically, and spiritually. We went over that. Number 16, to exercise now. Get a 3-month supply of major health products that you would need, like your medicine. Get medicines in supply. Know what to do without your medicine. Okay, number 17 is use natural medicine. Use natural remedies. And I wanted to speed through this just in case my video went out, but thank you so much for checking out this video. Search other YouTube videos on how to prepare during a pandemic, and I will see you on the next video. See ya!